So this is part number 3 to the 30 must know nephrology vocabulary words. We are going to continue this video from word 23 to 30. I also have a couple of highlights, so enjoy.
Tune in as Interpret Your World's co-founder, Juan Prieto, talks about the highlights of his workday as a professional medical video remote interpreter. If you are aspiring to learn something new and gain insight into what the world of medical interpretation is really like, then you've come to the right place. Follow along as Juan talks not only about his success, but the daily challenges he has to overcome to become a better interpreter each and every day. This is Unwind Sessions with Juan Prieto.
Hello, my lovely Terp family. Today is Tuesday, September 7, 2021. I took a total of 22 sessions. I was wishing that today was Thursday. For some reason, as soon as I finished my shift, my head was like, oh man, I'm so glad it's Thursday. But it's not Thursday, and it really sucks. You know, you think the weekend is just 2 days, it's just 1 day in the future, and it turns out it's 3 days in the future. That is enough to bum everybody out, right? But I realized that I made that mistake. You know, mistakes just rub off my bald head. So whatever, I'm back with the hype. You know, we all good on this very nice Tuesday. And today I had a total of 22 sessions. Yes, they seem like a little bit, but I had two video sessions that were very long. And I regret to say that today I had no audio sessions at all, like not even a single one. Can you believe that? And it's hard. If there are no audio sessions, it's hard because the company that I work for sent out a memo letting us know that they were going to be hiring only OPIs so they could take the load off of our shoulders. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, if you take away OPIs from the VRIs, you are going to be taking away the only thing they look forward to. Like, honestly, after 5 video sessions, I am ready for an audio session. And then when that audio session comes in, I feel like I'm in heaven. If you are BRI, you know what I'm talking about. There is no greater feeling than getting an OPI and getting paid the same as a BRI. So I wouldn't like to say it's half the effort, right? But half the presence, because it's only your voice. So don't take OPI away from me. Please, you will murder my motivation to continue working for you. Don't do it. Don't. All right. And before I get to the highlights today, which I have two, I have to remind you that we are still accepting comments on MIP 21. I'll probably post a link somewhere up here and of course down there. We are still accepting comments, because when MIP 21 reaches 100 likes, we're gonna pick 2 comments at random, and the people who those comments belong to are gonna get exclusive links to MIP 22. And that's not it. We're gonna give them a chance to record their interpretations, send them over to us, so that way we can provide them some feedback. And that's not it, because that is only the first step into making it into history. We got something prepared for you guys. You have no idea. And the first step is that we actually handle that feedback to see how we're gonna do it. All right, so very excited about that, right? I can't let the fact that the weekend is 3 days away take my joy from me. So let's get to it. What are my 2 highlights of the day? First of all, there was this really hard of hearing gentleman that I had to yell to get him to hear me. And I thought he was hearing me. I thought everything was well. And of course, I went the extra mile today. I said, I always forget when I am talking to hard of hearing people or patients, LEPs, whatever, whenever I'm talking to them, I always forget that I need to keep on yelling, right? Yelling. I need to keep on yelling. So what I did now, I said, this is not going to happen today. No, sir, I am ready. And I'm going to do the greatest job I've ever done with a hard of hearing session. So what did I do? I screamed at the gentleman. I asked the doctor's permission and I screamed at the gentleman. I told him, hey, sir, if at any point during the session you cannot hear me, please let me know. And then the gentleman said, so I was like, I'm set. I don't even have to worry about remembering that I need to yell at this gentleman because he'll let me know. But was I wrong? The gentleman didn't hear, but how can I say this? The gentleman was hearing, but he was not hearing what I was telling him. He was hearing what his ears allowed him to hear. So I'm yelling at this gentleman from the top of my lungs, and his answers, sometimes they were right, sometimes they were like something completely different. And then instead of telling me that I wasn't yelling or he couldn't hear me, he would just answer whatever came to his mind, whatever he understood. So I picked up on a few of those things, and I knew that my strategy just went down the pooper, right? My strategy was gone. It was not going to be used in that session. So what I did next was just carry it on like I do all of the sessions. So I just started yelling as loud as I could, and then at some points he couldn't hear me. I don't know why. And then he would just answer whatever. But I was able to get through that session. Whenever the gentleman answered something I knew he didn't understand, I would just try to yell at him as hard as I could, get him to understand. And then sometimes he would just ask me, is this what you said? And I'll be like, no, that was completely wrong. All right, but at least he did that. So that just got me to thinking, right? If a person is hard of hearing, like, how do they identify what they heard is true, right? Because they're hard of hearing, they're not deaf. If they're deaf, they cannot hear you. But if they're hard of hearing, how can they identify if it is true what they are hearing, right? Like if it's at a normal volume for them to actually hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, right? Or maybe they're hearing something and then their mind just makes up the rest. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but here's another random fact. The mind doesn't have all of the information. Everything that we're seeing is probably is not like that. It's probably not like that. So what the brain does, it takes out all of the outside stimuli, eyes, sight, smell, taste, all of that, and it reconstructs an image. It reconstructs, but of course we're not perfect, we're flawed, right? So in that reconstruction, something might not be well. So that means what I reconstruct in my mind could be something completely different than what you reconstruct in your mind. All right, so that is something that I'm wondering upon. So then hard of hearing people, sometimes their brain just reconstruct that story right from the missing pieces, but they're so because it's a brain reconstruction and they're hearing the words and stuff, so I guess their brain just reconstructs the story, right? I'm putting so it just reconstructs the story and they give you like this crazy answer, whatever they understood. That's what I think, right? So I didn't think about it, but of course that strategy just seems very stupid right now, because it's like, how is that person gonna know he didn't hear me, right? If their brain just reconstructs whatever I'm telling them, even if they didn't hear me completely. So strike that strategy. I'm never gonna use that strategy again. All right, and for my second highlight, it's Oculoplastic, I'm sorry, and in Spanish is Oculoplástico. Now, whenever I was reading it, and that just reminded, I don't know if I'm if it's just my stinky, well, not my stinky, right, my nasty pervy mind, that whenever I heard Oculoplastico, the first thing that came to mind was me scrolling in TikTok, right? Like, oh, mira, ese es un buen oculoplástico. Wow. Ella sí que tiene un buen oculoplástico, right? Like, it sounds like a plastic ass. If you don't speak Spanish, oculoplástico, just take off the O and that just says plastic ass. So something funny, or it's funny to me at least. Right? Please don't unsubscribe because of my nasty joke. All right, so what is the definition for oculoplastic? And I cannot believe I had never heard this word before. So our oculoplastic surgeons are ophthalmologists who specialize in plastic and reconstructive surgery of the periorbital and facial tissues, including the eyelids, eyebrows, forehead, cheeks, orbit, bony cavity around the eye, and the lacrimal tear system. So this is just a plastic surgeon that pretty much specializes in the eye and this part right here, right? Like maxillofacial, remember? Maxillofacial does all of this. I don't know the difference between a oculoplastic surgeon and a maxillofacial. I am going to write that down because I am curious. Maxillo versus oculo. All right, that'll be, I'm gonna find out, and if it's worthy of a video, I'll give you guys a video. All right, so now we know that oculoplastic is oculoplastico, and that is a surgeon for like this part of the face, right? Okay, well, yeah, that could be it, right? The difference is that the oculoplastic surgeon is just here, and the maxillofacial is the whole thing. All right, I get it, I understand. All right, so we are finally here. We finally made it to the main part of the video, the good stuff, what you're here to see, right? Not my bald head, not me saying nasty jokes that I just came up with because I have a dirty mind, right? That's not the reason why you're here. You're here because you want to learn the next, what is it, 8 next terms for the 30 must know nephrology vocabulary terms. I have to remind you that all of these terms were obtained from the carolinanephrology.com. Go ahead and look that up, carolinanephrology.com, and I think it's glossary if I'm not mistaken, and you will have an extensive list. You're set for life. If you know every word on that list, you're gonna be the best nephrology interpreter in the world. But just to help you out, I'm gonna give you the 30, what I thought was the 30 most important, well, not most important, but the 30 must know words from that list. And we are gonna get started with number 23. So number 23 is kidney disease, and this is enfermedad renal in Spanish. So this is permanent damage to the kidneys. The most common causes are diabetes and high blood pressure. If left untreated, kidney disease can lead to kidney failure. So yes, definitely kidney disease is damage that you are never gonna get back. And yes, the top causes are diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, I should say, not just diabetes. If somebody's not controlling their diabetes, there is a pretty big high chance that they are gonna get kidney disease, and also high blood pressure as well. And of course, if you have diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, you get kidney disease, there is a very high probability that you will get kidney failure and high blood pressure, and all of that bad stuff that comes from uncontrolled diabetes. So control your diabetes. If you know someone, let them know how important it is, even if they don't have any symptoms, right? Number 24. 24 is kidney failure, and this is insuficiencia renal. So when the kidneys don't work well enough to clean your blood, a person with kidney failure will need dialysis or a kidney transplant to live. So that really depends on the amount of kidney failure, right? I am not sure about the values, but I think that when the kidneys reach like around 40%, I think that's when they start implementing some sort of dialysis, or but when it gets like down to zero, like they definitely have to do dialysis. I'm not sure about the numbers. I'm honestly not sure about the numbers. I don't remember if it's like around 65 or around 40. I think 60 they still the person can still live and everything, but I think that when it gets down to 40, if I'm not mistaken, that's when they have to either give them dialysis or tell them that they need a kidney transplant, or they're not gonna make it. All right. And it doesn't, if you have like 90% working kidney, one kidney, right? I think they still don't do anything, but they prepare you. They tell you that you're gonna need it soon. All right. All right. So that was kidney failure. For number 25 is nephrectomy. Nephrectomía in Spanish. That sounded like an English translation. Nephrectomía. Nephrectomía. So this is just a surgical removal of a kidney. This is one of those words that you are going to have to need to interpret a lot during some surgical consents. They'll be like, so what are we doing for you today? We're gonna be doing a nephrectomy and blah 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 blah. And then the people's like, yeah, all right, and then you know you did a good job. All right, number 26. Number 26 is nephropathy, and this is nephropatia in Spanish. So nephropathy is any disease of the kidney. So pathy, P-A-T-H-Y, that is a suffix. Yes, it's a suffix that means disease. So whenever you see that in any word, pathy, that means disease. Nephro means kidneys, so disease of the kidneys. What else? I want to say, what do they call it? Hema. Oh, what do they call the liver? No, let's forget the liver. I think it's hemopathy, disease of the blood, or disease of the liver. I don't know. Forget the liver. Let's talk about the heart. Cardiopathy. Cardio, the heart, right? Pathy. So anything that has the word pathy in it, it just means disease. You're gonna have to figure out the root to know what disease it is, right? I actually have a video about roots, so give it a look. That'll help you a lot as well if you're learning vocabulary, medical vocabulary. Number 27. This is systolic pressure, presión sistólica, and yesterday we did diastolic, right? So this is your blood pressure when your heart beats. This is when the pressure is highest. So the systolic pressure, remember, is the number on top. The diastolic is the number on bottom. And I think I've only had to interpret this like once or twice, but the information that I received from looking up those terms is invaluable. Like, honestly, go ahead and look up those terms, systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, and the information you get just from looking up those terms, look it up like in the mayoclinic.org and stuff like that, and or any clinic. I'm not going to be limiting your options, but the information is going to be gold, honestly, for any medical interpreter. So go ahead and look at that as well. All right, number 28. Number 28 is thrill or fremito. And this is a vibration or buzz that can be felt in a arterial venous fistula, an indication that the fistula is healthy. Did I include fistula here? Pretty sure I did, right? And I'm looking through it. I'm pretty sure I did, because fistula seems like very important for, and there are just so many videos. Peritoneal, no, and I didn't do fistula. I must have done fistula in another video. I'm pretty sure I did. If not, I'm gonna have to do it in another video. But anyways, what a fistula is a cavity that is created either artificially or just naturally, but it's not supposed to be there, right? So whenever they're gonna give people dialysis, they need to create a cavity, right? A fistula in this case is an arterial venous fistula, which goes in the arm, right? Somewhere around, well, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna tell you where it goes, but somewhere around here, right? And what they do is they put the fistula and they put the axis in here. So sometimes you if you are able to hear like a buzz or a vibration, that means that the fistula is healthy, that you can get dialysis through that fistula, right? Because you're hearing the thrill. But if for some reason you no longer hear it, then what happens is that if you can no longer hear the thrill, then that means that is probably blocked and you need to get a new one, and you need to go to the ER, because that could get infected and that could get bad quickly. All right, so that is thrill. So the thrill is just the vibration of the buzz. Sometimes you're not able to hear it, and the doctors have to use a stethoscope to actually hear it. And I almost forgot, we have an interpretation practice video that talks just about that. So number 29. 29 is void, and in Spanish is vaciar. So this just means to urinate or to empty the bladder, right? Pretty easy, void, vaciar. The first time that I heard this word, I didn't know what they were talking about. Of course, I know that void means to empty, but void also means to like cancel out, right? To invalidate. So when they said void, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. And then, just to empty the bladder. And I was like, I completely understand now. So yeah, I mean, I'm not like, us as normal people, right? Well, we're not normal people, we're medical interpreters, right? But us as part of like the general population, we don't say that, right? Have you voided your bladder yet? Are you gonna void your bladder? Were you able to void your bladder? We're gonna see if you're void, right? We don't talk like that. Who talks like that? Only doctors. So I just wanted to share that little fact with you, that the first time it caught me by surprise and I didn't even know what it meant. All right. I knew what it meant, but I didn't know the use that was given at that moment, right? Number 30, and this is the last word today, that is urine analysis, and this is análisis de orina. So a urine analysis is a UA or blood test. No, not a blood test. I'm sorry. Urine test. We're gonna take a urine test, urine analysis, urine sample, whatever. It all means the same thing. Análisis de orina. But of course, well, let me continue. A test of a urine sample that can reveal many problems of the urinary system and other body systems. The sample may be observed for color, cloudiness, and concentration, signs of drug use, chemical composition, including sugar, the presence of protein, blood cells, or germs, or other signs of disease. Now, this is like the go-to test for almost all of the medical providers, right? Because it's so simple. They only have to urinate in a cup, and that's it. They bring the urine, they test the urine in 15 minutes, they got the results that they want from the urine, right? So this is like the first step in diagnosing in yeah, that's how you say it, huh? Diagnosing, is it? Diagnosing, I don't know. If I made that up, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep on using it. So that is the first step used to diagnose anything that's going on, UTIs, sugar in the blood, protein in the blood, drug use, blood in the urine, all kinds of things, right? And I think I was saying blood. I'm sorry, it's all in the urine. Drugs in the urine, sugar in the urine, protein in the urine, blood cells in the urine, germs, all kinds of stuff can be seen in the urine. Of course, not everything can be seen in the urine, but that is a very versatile test, right? It shows you a lot of stuff, so be ready to interpret that. If you're a new interpreter who's never worked in the field, be ready to interpret that a lot. Very rarely do they call it urine analysis. They will say urine sample, urine test, but now you know. Now you know the correct term for it. I don't know that if you'll ever use it, but now you are ready in case you are faced with that. But now you know that that is a term, not necessarily the term itself, urine analysis, but that is a very, very important word for medical interpreters to learn. All right, so we have reached the end of the video, right? We finally made it. You have graduated and you now know the 30 must know nephrology vocabulary words that every medical interpreter must know. And remember that tomorrow is Med Wednesday, baby. So Med Wednesday, I am going to continue with that list of 300 medications, so stay tuned for that. And please leave your questions in the comments and I will answer some of them on the next session. If anything is time sensitive, let me know. That way I can get to your question and make a video about it right away. Remember that I will be here every Monday through Friday after work. Also, remember that we have a Patreon page for as little as just $1. You help us to get motivated to create much more content, right? Get off our lazy ass. And what do you get for just that $1? Of course, we're not limiting you. If you want to give us $100, that's fine by us. We'll take it. So, but with just as little as $1, you get everything. You get all of the medical practice videos ad-free, scripts, answer sheets, vocabulary list, and much more content. And of course, anything new we do, it goes to Patreon first before it even hits YouTube, except for online sessions. They were not that big of a hit on Patreon. All right. So that is it, guys, and remember that if you support us on Patreon, you will forever win a place inside of our heart. All right, so we love all of our Patreons. We love everyone that has bought us a coffee. We love all of our subscribers. We love all of our viewers, and we love you that has made it to the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video and have not done so for much more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Unwind Sessions. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. And if you learned something new today, it'd be great if you left us a review. You can also visit us on patreon.com/interpretyourworld or visit our website, interpretyourworld.com. Unwind Sessions.
If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, share this video with other beginner interpreters or anyone who can benefit from this information. Thank you all so much for all the support you guys have given us. This means the world to us. Don't forget, we also have social media. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. We also have an Instagram and the one I love the most, TikTok. We just recently got a Buy Me a Coffee, and also, if you guys didn't already know, we do have a Patreon account. If you guys would like to support us a little more, we'd love to have you guys over there. And as always, I will be posting all the links to these pages down below in the description box. Thanks for watching!